Hello and welcome in this short webinar where we're gonna cover how to create a newsletter to send to your customer. Let's take a look at the INbound-CRM platform. So once you get in the platform, first of all, it's a web platform that you access via the web. So you can access it at any time with your credential, and when you log in, it's going to take you to a page where you're going to have the different well, it's your dashboard. You will create a form, a subscription form, because from the same platform you want to be able to manage, well, all the people who subscribe to your newsletter, and you don't want to export the customer list of the people who subscribe to your newsletter. You want to manage everything from the same place. So if I click on form, then I click on, let's say, a test form that I will modify it here. So when you are in the form, also you can drag and drop a field. So let's say I would like to know from which country or which city or which zip code. I would like to have the birthday date of my customer. So because the platform can automate birthday wish that we're gonna send, let's say 3 days or the day of his birthday, but it could be 3 days before it's gonna be his birthday, and say, well, come to the store and you have 10% of whatever you want in the store as a gift. So when the form is ready, we click on get the link, and we're gonna copy this link into your Facebook page and in your website. So when the customer subscribe, if I click here to quit, and then I go to my groups. So then when I'm going to my groups, I can see that I have a web form. So it's for the website. I have the customer that I have imported. So if you have a customer base that you would like to import into the platform, that's really easy to do. And then after that, you have a Facebook page, form on the Facebook page as well. When you're gonna want to send a newsletter, you will send it to all these people, but maybe you want to test it before to send it to the whole group. So let's go now at the templates area. So this is the area where you will find all the different templates of the newsletter. They all have a number. So if I go to my Excel file right over here, I have all the topics that we have seen a little bit earlier, and they all have a number right here on the left side. So I have the veggies, the annuals, information on lawn, tropicals, etc. So let's say I want to have the number 95, the number on the orchids. I simply click here, type 95, and boom, I find my newsletter with the orchid care. So let's take a look. If I want to see it, I have the newsletter right over here, and if I want to modify it, I will click on edit. So when you're in the edit mode, you will see that you have here a parameter that is a placeholder that we can change if we want. So that's why in the form we ask for the first name, the last name. We can ask for the city. We can ask for different fields. So this way we can reuse them in every newsletter. And like here, if all the people who have subscribed to the newsletter and have give us their first name, is gonna automatically install the first name of each person that is going to be sent when we're gonna do the mailing. So if I click here, I can see that it's changed to a kind of a Word file. So you can change the text, you can change the color of the text, you can change the size, change the font, but you could also add a field that is going to redirect the customer to your website, let's say. I could add a field like click here. If I select that, I go right over here and change that as a button. Then I can add a link to the page of the website that I would like to bring the customer, like shop our tropicals or shop our orchids. So I could type in click here to shop our orchids. So when the customer is going to look at the newsletter, he can go directly into your website and start shopping. If you want to change the look of the button, you can change the color, you can change the text, the size, you can make it round if you want. So then after that, we can add different blocks to the newsletter. So you can change it if you want. You can add a video. So if you add a video, you simply type in the link, the YouTube link or the Vimeo URL right over here, and this way it will display the image of the video. I can add a block for text. So if I drag it and drop it, then I can change the text. I can add a block for image as well. So if I double click on the image, it opens a kind of a hard disk where I have different information. Could be a special. So when you subscribe to our newsletter program, it costs $39 a week, and you have up to 2,500 customers who can get the newsletter. Then I can create different blocks. Let me show you one of them. So usually when we build the program for you, we're gonna have different cover like that we're gonna change over the season. We will add your logo, and we will add your address, phone number, information, and we can create a link from that. So if I click on the image, then I can go right over here. It open again my kind of a website, not website, but hard disk, where I can simply drag and drop an image. So I double click here on the image, and it creates a link. Then after that, so when the customer is going to open or click here to see our flyer of the week, when he's going to click, he's going to see the link that we have created. We're going to look at it when we will test it. So I will add another block for my social media. So I select it. Then I can change the color, change the type, if I want to show the labels or not. Select the language. Then I can select the one that I want to show. So if I don't have a blog page, I will not show it. I will not show the Twitter page. I will just show the social network that I do have. And the nice thing with that is, well, when you do all the newsletter programmation for the season, you don't want to redo that every time. So if I go down here, I can save the block and name it social media and save it. And then when I go back into my blocks, it's gonna go at the bottom. I can reuse it, and it's gonna be exactly the same of what it was. Then I want to add a block where I will redirect my customer to my website. So I simply drag and drop it. You simply type in the letters, the text, then you select it, you add a link to the URL of your, let's say, newsletter page or Facebook page or whatever. And when it's done, you save it, you select it, then you save it as a block, and you can reuse it every time you will do your newsletter. At the bottom of the newsletter, let me remove that. At the bottom of the newsletter, I will add another block that we have created. So I drag and drop a link, which is a Google Map link. So if I click on my image, I have copy and paste a Google Map link right over here. So the customer, if there is a share of the newsletter, and I say to my friend, go to this garden center, they have nice stock, then they simply have to click on the image to go to your operation. When I'm satisfied, I click on save. So I save it, close the editor, then I will review it. So I have here the links for my website, for my social network, for my website. I have my special, then my link for my Google Map. If I click here, I have made a link for my info flyer. So the info flyer is a kind of a resume of the newsletter. So if I click on it, it takes us to this page. So it's an informative flyer that we can send attached to your newsletter, and we can post it on your Facebook page as well. We had your logo and your address, and it's a nice way to promote, give more information on your different platform. So if I am satisfied with the newsletter, I click right here, click on send. It shows me the newsletter for last time. I can say display online version link if I want, or I can remove that. So sometimes the image doesn't show up depending on the browser your customer will use. So if they click here, it will bring the newsletter into their browser so they can see all the image this way. I would recommend to leave it. Then you click on continue, click on the language. Here you can see what is going to be the subject of the email, so you will want to remove the number of the newsletter. And here you have the different information that will show up, which you could change just before to send it. Then after that, you select the group to the people you want to send that. So let's say I want to send that only, it could be a territory, it could be a group of customers. So in your case, let's say you choose all the people, let's say in my case, I choose all the people in New Jersey. I will select the date. It's going to be sent on Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the morning. Then I click on next, and I can revise all the information to make sure everything is fine. Then I click on schedule the email. And now I will see all the emails that have been scheduled. So that's really easy to program, but it's a little bit time consuming. If you do one, you can do it in about 5-10 minutes. If you are doing 40 of them, it's going to take a little bit longer. So that's why we are offering this service as a self-service or as a full service as well. So that's it for this webinar. If you have any question, it's going to be our pleasure to answer all of them. You can send us an email, or we can do also a private webinar with you and go over all these topics and go over all the question you have, and it's gonna be a pleasure to answer all your question. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. Bye bye.